In the basement of an ancient palace, archaeologists unearthed a strange object, a small clay disc. On it were strange symbols arranged in a spiral pattern. For more than 100 years, scientists tried to decipher them. It looks as if it was left there by non-humans, like a message written for those who can understand it. The year is 1908. The island of Crete, the ruins of an ancient palace in Phaistos. Italian archaeologist Luigi Pernier descends into an underground vault. There, among the rubble and dust, he sees something unusual. The Phaistos Disc is small, only 15 centimeters in diameter, but its significance is much greater than its size. Both sides of the disc are covered with a spiral of symbols that twist from the edge to the center like a secret code. There are about 45 unique symbols on the disc. People, animals, tools, flowers. Each symbol looks well thought out, with no chaos, as if the author left instructions for those who could read them. And the most interesting thing is that the symbols were not applied by hand, but with stamps. This means that more than 4,000 years ago, someone already knew how to work with technology similar to printing. Imagine that a miniature clay disc recorded methods that were thousands of years ahead of their time. Scientists compared the symbols with linear A and linear B, which were also used in Crete. But there is almost nothing in common between them. And here's what's surprising. We can see each symbol, we can count them, compare them, study their shape, but they still don't make sense. The Phaistos Disc was found on the island of Crete. At that time, Crete was the center of the Minoan civilization, one of the first highly developed cultures in Europe. Here, palaces were built, trade developed, art was created, and complex writing systems, such as linear A, were developed. It is against the backdrop of such a developed culture that the Phaistos Disc seems even more mysterious. But it is here, among the palaces and ruins, that we find an artifact detached from the world. This is not Egypt. We know their hieroglyphs, and there are no similar texts there. This is not Greece. At that time, the Greeks had not even set foot on these lands. Perhaps these were migrants from the east, such as Palestinians or Phoenicians. But why did they leave such an artifact here? And most interestingly, we find nothing like it anywhere else in the world. There are several main versions of archaeologists and linguists regarding the Phaistos Disc, and each sounds convincing, but none has been proven. 1. Religious version. Perhaps the disc contains hymns, prayers, or spells. The symbols could be sacred, and the spiral could be a path to the gods. Some see it as a ritual message created for those who understood these signs. 2. Astronomical/calendar version. Other scientists believe that it is a map of the stars or a calendar. The spiral could represent the cycles of the moon or sun, which were important for rural life or religious rituals. But then the question arises, who created such a complex system and why? 3. Game version. There is a more unusual version. Perhaps the disc is a board game or a teaching aid for young people. The symbols could be instructions or a code for a game known only to a select few. 4th, political, administrative version. Another idea is that the disc contains orders, treaties, or records. In other words, it is an ancient, official document, but so sophisticated that contemporaries could hardly understand it. There are also more unusual versions. Some believe that this disc could be a message from a lost civilization, perhaps Atlantis. There is also a version that it is a map of treasures or hidden knowledge left for those who can read it. Why don't we know the truth yet? This is the first known example of printing, created thousands of years before modern writing appeared. The work of scientists is complicated by the fact that there are no other texts like this, and there is nothing to compare it to. Some researchers question the authenticity of the disc itself. There is a version that it could have been forged by Luigi Pernier himself. This small piece of clay, whose significance is enormous, is a silent witness to a civilization that left riddles rather than answers. But this is also the power of the disc. It forces us to look into the past, ask questions, and seek new paths to knowledge. Perhaps someday someone will read it and learn what we can only imagine now.